Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
All right, welcome to the KVJ ATS Podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show Podcast.
Hello, happy Friday. You're here with the KVJ After the Show Podcast. Yeah, we can. Yeah,
we can.
Yeah.
Podcast. Podcast.
Yeah, gonna expect some rain probably through the middle of it. So that's kind of the crazy stuff. But, whatever. I am actually, kind of after breaking it down, I'm like, you know what? Okay, got the Heat on at 1 o'clock, watch the Miami Heat basketball, and then you got the Panthers on at 4. So I think I know a good part of what I'm going to be doing. Have that on.
Make a plan, have it involve being in front of the TV and chilling, and unless you lose power, everything's great.
Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah, that's the one big thing.
Keep ticking east.
When does and I guess everybody's set differently, like what do you think it takes for your power to go out typically, Virginia? And Tequesta, what knocks it out?
In my neighborhood, we don't have any power lines. It's all underground, so we're pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty annoying.
I know.
It's doing it well.
Pretty fucking annoying.
know.
Doing it
I mean,
well.
as you know, Kevin, living in a West Palm, a fucking cat running by my house can turn out my power. So, shit, there goes Netflix.
Yeah.
For me, panic always sets in when the air condition, when the power goes out and the cool air starts to run out, that's when my panic starts to set in.
It's horrifying.
Then you have to
No AC. I'm sorry. We're going south and we're getting a hotel.
Have you ever had that where the AC goes out? Like I remember when I was little, our AC broke and we could not afford to get it fixed right away. So we had to spend a good month in the summertime with a bunch of fans on us. And it's
tough.
Even with 3 fans blowing on you, it wasn't doing the trick.
Well, fan's effective when it's blowing cool air. When a fan is blowing hot air, it actually can make the situation worse.
And they weren't the greatest of fans either.
Yeah. No. I'm looking at the tracks, all the models that they have right now, and it looks pretty good. There's only 2 that you don't like. One kind of takes the center through about like Jupiter. One goes down like through Key Largo, but then it looks like there's about 10 or 12 models that is swinging it where it doesn't even kiss Florida. It's off the coast. So,
We would like that.
Yeah.
If it keeps ticking east, that's good for us.
That'd be
so
nice.
keep praying.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. That's it. But we're in it now, though. I always tell you, it's the last week of July and the first 2 weeks of August. I just noticed 21 plus years or whatever it is here in South Florida. That just always seems to be it. Those are the 3 weeks. And I think I've even read that is kind of like the epicenter. And not to say you can't get something, but it just seems like if you're getting something and it's going to be a bad storm on top of it, it is happening in that 3 week time period.
There's going to be even more babies coming if we have an active hurricane because people like to get a little busy during a hurricane. If you like each other, people like to fuck during hurricanes. If you are,
But we've already been
We've
living.
already been.
Yeah.
We've,
you're right.
We've gone through the fucking phase, and now we hate each other.
I don't think anybody's looking at this as any different weekend. It's just like another weekend.
You're right. Like the first month and a half,
Yeah.
this is great. There's so much fucking and
I'm
fun.
so tired of fucking you.
And now it's just
Right.
anger and
It is.
Go jerk off.
We're over it. Nothing good about it. I encountered something yesterday that I hadn't yet, and this is mask critiquing.
What?
Yeah, I went to go get my teeth cleaned yesterday.
Is this from a stranger did this to you?
No, it's my dentist and dental hygienist. It's mainly her, but she was looking at what I had, and then
What did
the
you
dentist
have?
came in. I had on my usual
The AC/DC one?
Yeah, which we did that test the other day where you take a lighter and you hold it up in front of your mask and you blow, and if you can blow the lighter out, then your mask is not sufficient. That's the quick test to see if you have a mask that's good enough. So I had this thing on, and she was like, yeah, she's like, and then
It's too loose.
she's like,
And
it's too loose. She's like, yeah, you got to, she's like, because we have, it's got to pinch your nose at the top, and it's got to be tighter. She's like, maybe you could tie it off and make it tighter. And I'm just like, I had no idea. I'm like, look, I got to, but apparently that's where it shifted now. It's not enough to have a mask. It's got to be the right kind of mask, and it's got to be on the right way.
I've been wanting to tell you that because every meeting we're in, every time you talk, that mask slips down and you have to keep pulling it up.
Yeah.
And so you probably pull your mask up about 80 times during every meeting, and I just watch it, and it's mesmerizing. But if you would just tie a little knot at the end of each little thing that goes behind your ears, it'll stay up.
Typical man thinking the rules don't apply to fucking Kevin Ross.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, these are just it. I didn't realize that I, was not doing it right or is inferior in that. I'm like, as long as I got my nose and mouth covered, I thought that was it.
Oh, I told you.
Apparently, that's not it. That's not good enough anymore.
I told you a couple days ago, you're going to start to see them cannibalize each other. The mask community, which we all are part of, but I'm talking about the vocal critiquing mask community. They're going to turn on each other, and they're going to start going after other mask people when they're on the same side.
Yeah.
But it's going to totally blur the lines. It's going to be figgity fucked.
Yeah, so that was the latest, and I'm seeing now, some people are getting real fancy masks. Ones, in fact, my father-in-law has one that has where it will cinch up to the back of your ear. It's an adjustable type thing, so you can make it nice and tight.
Okay.
So.
I'm loving the Denny's women panty mask for probably a couple reasons, but I
It's
like
been a while since you had panties on your face.
I like the fact that it's so snug because I do love the people who have sent us masks like this. I love this Yoda mask, but this Yoda mask is a little loose. If someone wanted to get me,
Here, give it to me. I'll put a little knot in one side.
no, I don't want you touching my mask.
It'll tighten it up.
I'll tighten it myself.
So I'm like, okay, I guess that's where we're going to start graduating to now, is that people might start making comments about your mask. Be like, your mask is.
That's how they would talk. Your mask
is not good enough.
You got a loose mask.
Yeah.
Did you put off your teeth cleaning? And if so, how many months did you put it off?
Well, they weren't open.
Oh,
and
okay.
so it got pushed back. And it wasn't, I don't know if it was really even pushed back much. I even found out, like, with our insurance, I learned a lot about insurance yesterday, too, that, we're twice a year you get for free in our dental insurance. And so, but it's 6 months in a day. Like, you cannot go twice within the same, period there. And
Gotcha.
so mine have to stay 6 months apart. So I was pretty much on time. It was all good. It was a great checkup, if you guys want to know.
I'm way overdue. That's why I'm worried.
Tell us more about your insurance plan, Kevin.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff, isn't it? People are like, why did I tune into this?
You fucking talking dentist shit again?
Well, I know Virginia the other day was she was at the dentist, but it was for the kids, and she was having a moment. Virginia was. She was, oh my gosh.
Did you get the corona paranoia?
I did, because I started thinking, okay, how many people are in this office? That was the first time I've been around that many people since March. And so I had a little bit of a panic attack sitting in the lobby.
Sometimes you just got to kind of just release and let go.
I know.
I went to the dentist. I was thinking that too, because I think the day before I went to the dentist, Kevin had on his list the places you don't want to go right now for corona. Dentist.
Dentist, what?
And I just said, you got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah,
Just let go.
And as time goes on, too, at first, I'm not going out to do a dental appointment, but where coronavirus is and where I'm set with it, I mean, there's just some stuff where, sorry, like, I'm not going to let my teeth rot out. And that's just kind of like, where they are, and what they're saying right now is there are people that have put off cancer treatments, people that have put off other important health things. And they're saying, look, we got to get this whole coronavirus thing into perspective, because they even said, they're like, if you're putting off cancer treatment, that's a bad idea, because the cancer is going to take you out before the coronavirus is going to take you out.
Life still goes on with corona. You even talked about it with little smiles. It's not like kids aren't getting sick, and it's not like parents aren't needing help. The problems of the world are still happening.
Yeah, you still have all the regular illnesses, but you just have this fun thing to think about on top of it all.
No, I see what you're saying. I mean, I I am going. I brought it up yesterday. I've got 6 guys that want to play wiffle ball next weekend. It's locked and loaded, ready to play, and we're going to do it safely, but I'm already prepared that I'm going to get some shit from the public. But we're all going to have masks on. We're all going to be 6 feet away.
Yeah.
Everyone's been safe. I mean, am I that big of a fuckface for doing that?
Well, it depends. You can poll 5 different people and get 5 different responses to that because, so many people are set differently. Like I said, it's kind of like a sliding scale as to are you a 1 or are you a 5 on the coronavirus scale? And I've, from when this thing started, I've been a 1. I might be even a 0 now. I don't even know. I'm close to it. Because I'm a less than 1 right now.
I brought up to you, you're like, dude, just go play some wiffle ball. And then Virginia's like, I wouldn't fucking do it.
Yeah, she's more 4 ticking on 5. I'm more 1 ticking on 0.
I think the quote was, I don't think you can do it.
It's not necessary. That's the way I look at it. I'm not doing shit that ain't necessary. I've been invited to plenty of fun things that I turned down because they're not necessary risks.
Was the Keys trip that you took necessary?
Yes, because it was my sister and I wasn't around anybody.
I'm not going to be around anybody. That's the thing, though. Nobody. A wiffle ball field, people are going to be fucking 13 feet away from each other. They're not going to be near each other. Everyone's on the same page with that. Everyone's going to have a mask on, and everybody that I'm playing with is a family person.
You believe you can maintain the same levels of distancing as a trip to the Keys?
Probably better than the Keys because I'm going to be outside away from people. How do you know that, the person that was cleaning your... I'm not trying to call you out.
Nobody cleaned our room. We didn't allow anybody in the hotel room. We bought hospital-grade disinfectant and cleaned the room, and then I didn't let anybody in.
I'm just saying, if you have the bacteria soap out there, people are doing their hands, everyone keeps their distance. I don't see what the difference is of me playing wiffle ball and her going to the Keys. If someone can explain that to me, I'd love to hear it, then argue with you.
Well, the thing that I think you can start saying about things like wiffle ball, which would be exercise, getting outside, and just good for mental health, too.
Yes, people are getting very depressed.
Yeah, this is where you're getting the argument. This was an interesting comment from the head of the CDC and what he had to say.
But there has been another cost that we've seen, particularly in high schools. We're seeing, sadly, far greater suicides now than we are deaths from COVID. We're seeing far greater deaths from drug overdose that are above excess that we had as background than we are seeing deaths from COVID.
And that's where you got to put everything into perspective. And he's saying it, suicides and drug overdoses are killing more people than COVID. And so, mental health is a big part of it.
I would never try to thumb my nose and be like, hey, I'm out in public, motherfuckers. I got no mask. That's not what this is about.
Right.
I got to get back to doing something a little bit that brings my spirit kind of in alignment.
Mental health is important.
It really is. For people who have panic disorder and sometimes depression, yes, it can absolutely be a big thing.
And I get that part of it. And that'd be the only reason that I would just say, you know what, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
I'm prepared for the fight, Virginia.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fight with you. I'm just going to look at you with a little stank eye, but you're used to that.
I am.
Well, and that's the balance that, people have to consider. People still want to call people out for things like that, but there's such a complex system of analysis when it comes to this coronavirus, and people are completely set different from the people that are completely paranoid by it to people who are saying, my gosh, this is absolutely nothing at all that we're making a massively big deal about.
I mean, goggles? That's all I saw. People
goggles would be good for you in wiffle ball.
I actually love wearing goggles in wiffle ball. It reminds me of a player. Remember Chris Sabo? We don't have to speak along on this, Kevin. He was from the Reds.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Third baseman always wore goggles.
Yeah.
I played third base, so that I'd wear goggles as a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, to your point, Virginia, fuck yeah on goggles.
I got plenty of goggles. You can borrow any of them.
You got swim goggles, probably.
I got snorkeling goggles with the snorkel and the fins.
No, those
you can play it like Scuba Steve.
Those will heat up my eyeballs. I got to get the sport ones.
Oh, you mean like the Speedo swimmer ones?
Almost, yeah.
Somebody did bring up a point about your wiffle ball is, probably the biggest problem you have is that you're passing a ball from person to person, and you could have a corona ball.
You could do that with a shopping cart.
Yeah, I know with the shopping carts, when we go, my wife has like those sanitary wipes, and she wraps that around that. She doesn't physically touch the cart.
Somebody picks up a bottle of Mountain Dew. Oh, I don't want it. It's too expensive. They put it back on the counter. I mean, it's the same principle. They're not wiping everything down at the grocery store. They're just not.
Yeah, everything it's there.
I knew someone's gonna come at me with the fucking Corona
ball.
Corona ball. Well, then how are you playing sports then?
Ask the Marlins. They're not because of Corona ball.
Because they're in
how they're passing it
Because they're
around.
in South Florida, fucking shit up. Because South Floridians are rushing like they're in a fucking frat.
Yeah.
All right.
Siesta Key, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Siesta Key is probably the main reason why Florida's a hot spot.
Yes. Just that hole. They're just passing it around. Everybody's going there and making out with those guys, just bringing it to different parts of Florida. That's how it's spreading.
Technically, there's also a way you could wipe down the ball every time as well. There's ways you could play.
Yeah, that's just it. We've got new precautions that are out there trying to keep things as sanitary as possible, but this is the weird balance.
And a lot would have to, I think, happen for the Corona to get on the ball. And then you got to grab, I don't know.
It's a mix of sanitation and sanity.
I'm not a doctor. I only went to college as long as one, so don't trust me.
That's right. And then they'd had a report that 21 states are now in the red zone, need to take aggressive steps to slow the spread of COVID. And they said that if they had their way, 13 states, including Florida, would lock down right now. Oh. And yeah, good luck.
Oh, I posted something on Facebook, and I wasn't even trying to be that controversial. It just said, Harvard's thinking about shutting down Florida. Oh, man.
Yeah, this story.
Fuck you, KVJ, fucking Democrat, fuckface. Like, what?
Yeah. Well, this says this is a report released from Trump's administration's coronavirus task force, so you can't pin that as Democratic left-wing nonsense.
All I did was just say Harvard's thinking about shutting down some Florida, and people lost their mind. And I wasn't posting that as that's the KVJ stance.
Is Harvard all Democrat?
Well, there are a lot of colleges that lean very liberal, and their whole academia is kind of liberal, depending on who you. I mean, there's a whole debate about that.
I think there's like one conservative university.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get into all that, but yes, there's a major debate and a whole philosophy on why. Older people call the younger people snowflakes.
Yeah,
a lot of older people blame the colleges on that, and it's a whole thing.
Somebody texted and said, "Am I alone with being tired of having to COVID-splain myself? Even though we're all careful with the choices we make, we still have to explain ourselves to others."
Yeah, I am.
That's it. Yeah, because you just feel like, look, I got to keep living. I got to keep doing things. Like you invite me in here to get my teeth cleaned, which I guess I really need to do. I don't want my teeth to fall out through this whole thing. And then it's like going, my mask is insufficient. Well, thank you. Well, and then I'll go home and try to order a mask, and the queen will be like going, "You're not getting a new fucking mask. Like, stop." And then I'm like, all right.
I can make that one tighter for you.
She wants to touch her mask. I'm not. I don't know what this witch is doing.
That'll be the odd way I get coronavirus. Virginia tightens my mask, so I don't get coronavirus, and that's how I get coronavirus.
Don't play wiffle ball. Corona mask.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just it. So I think a lot of people are just like, you know what? We just got to live.
Well,
I'm living now.
If you think the wiffle ball thing's controversial now, I haven't even brought up the fact that I've recruited one Panda Sinicki to be a part of the league.
And that's the one of concern in your house, Virginia.
I would be shocked if he shows up.
He's the one that he went to on the thread. I can even show it to you. I'm talking about getting wiffle ball together and all this shit. All my friends are excited because they've been quarantined with their family, and they're like, "Get me the fuck out of here!" And Panda goes to the store and sends us a video of him grabbing a wiffle ball bat and a ball. So you tell me, bruh.
Wow.
Maybe he's changed his stance, but
he's either telling you the truth or he's cock teasing the bird.
Call him. Get his ass on the phone.
If he's all for it and he goes living his life, Virginia, because he seems the one that's the highest set in your family, do you go about living life then? If he throws caution to the wind?
Well, he's the one that has all the rules in place.
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm this strict because I keep in the back of my head.
All right, so if he loosens up, do you loosen up?
I guess I have to.
Yeah.
If he don't give a fuck, why should I?
So right now, the big wiffle ball signee is going to be Panda.
You could swing the whole Virginia law thing if you get Panda to be like, yeah, you know what?
Call him now.
I'm going to loosen up on this.
You know why I don't want to call him now? I'll tell you why. It's too much pressure. You're throwing. I got to speak with him. I got to give him a song and dance.
Virginia will have him flip back to the other side by the end of the call.
Exactly. I'm trying to get smarter, Kev.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
not gonna work in your
It
favor.
won't bode well for the bird if I get him on now.
If you call him now and he doesn't see it coming, it works well for me.
It does, because he's gonna pussy out on the Virginia, fuck yeah, Queen, I bow to you.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what's gonna happen. I gotta get him.
You gotta work on him.
I gotta get him on the horn.
Break him down a bit.
Coach him.
I have to coach him against the witch.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's why you want him on right now. You know I won't win.
Exactly. I know if you have time and he has time that the two of you will prepare something and you'll come to play. I spin you around and I get you when you don't expect it, and that's how I win.
But like I said yesterday, everything comes with a price, and you have to weigh.
Oh, it does. That's life.
Do I really want Panda in the league if it's going to come with a bitchy, witchy woman?
But if you have a loosen up Panda and then he's home saying, you know what, I feel pretty good about this. I think I can weather the storm. I'm good. And he loosens up about it. He'd be like, I feel like this is safe enough.
It's a fucking game. This is a gamble, because if it
could
goes
be a
great,
game changer,
it
yeah.
goes great for the whole crew. If it goes terrible, Bird, you wrecked everything.
Yeah, and you get a couple games and weeks in, and everybody's good. You don't have a situation like the Marlins where everybody's got COVID.
But if anybody gets the coronavirus in the week after your first wiffle ball game,
it's totally
you
fucked.
are figgity fucked.
Yeah,
No, I can't. Now that's the
problem. Now.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And I might just puss out too. No, guys, I can't do it.
You could get Lysol and spray the ball.
Okay, now
Lysol
she's
ball. I can't get
ball.
Lysol. Where do you get Lysol? Tell me where you get it.
Well, Lysol wipes. I don't know where you get the spray, but yeah, you could wipe the ball each time, but it's a lot of work.
Lysol.
It works out good because next weekend, so we have Friday and Monday off, so that works kind of good for me, and it also works good for a lot of my buddies, because for whatever reason, their wives are going out of town, or there's everyone's available on this week.
Wow, that's perfect then.
I know.
You might get Panda.
I think I do have Panda. I think you're now realizing it right now.
If the two of you have time to spin it and figure out what you're going to say, I think you'll get Panda.
Wow.
Well, how about this? I give you my pitch job on Monday. We figure out what we got to do to
You're
sell
going to give
it.
me the tiny dancer of verbal statements?
Yes.
Okay. All right. There you go. Wow. Boy, if Panda breaks and Virginia flips, wow, everybody's loosening up here all of a sudden.
It's a watershed moment.
Big stuff. That's a big breakthrough right there.
Definitely. Now that the virus is way worse and more widespread, we should definitely loosen up.
Oh, Florida had its worst death count. Hey, Cal, I'm just starting a wiffle ball league up.
Yeah, more motherfuckers died yesterday than any other day.
That's what I'm gonna get. And I crack very easily when it comes to guilt. It'll take one comment on social media. Bird, you're a murderer. Ah, fuck, what have I done? So yeah, I'll probably cower. Yeah,
Fine.
I'll bet.
That number's a data dump. That's all it is. Not that many people died in a 24-hour period.
I hear you.
Yeah, it's a wonky number.
I'm not trying to get people mad either. That's not the goal.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right. If you want in this league, we would love. The prestige of having the Kevin Ralston.
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Out there with the boys playing some wiffle ball.
Here's the good thing, too. If you get Kevin Ralston, you get the queen. And something tells me that bitch could hit a home run.
And charge the mound.
Oh, we are a league. We don't discriminate age, gender. If you can play, you can stay. That's the way it is.
The queen would probably beat half of the guys on your team.
We might have a kid. One of the guys has a kid who's really good at baseball. Who's 13.
Wow.
And he's going to be out there because he's legit.
Oh, he's going to be the one that gives y'all corona.
This is also fuck. We're not doing wiffle ball. It's not happening. It's so not happening. Gosh, man. Everywhere I drive by, lots of land. Just this grassy area. And almost like the movie, I can see a field up here. I want to play so bad.
Damn. Well, I don't want to stand in the way of your mental health because I know you need this.
Hey, what do you mean?
If you need it, then you should be able to do it.
Oh.
Just try to do it as safe as you can.
Kevin will get emails from these fucking Johnny-come-latelys. Bird, you don't need wiffle ball. Quit being such a baby fuckface. All right, I'm sorry.
It's kind of crazy what's happening with some of the businesses as the pandemic continues to rage on. You saw Dunkin' is closing 8% of its stores around the U.S., which is about.
Saw that.
And that's a big. I mean, 8% of Dunkin' is 800 stores.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know,
Wow.
Most of them are in like gas stations. So they have a lot of Dunkins in these speedways. And I guess they're taking a lot of those out.
Yeah.
But like by me in Tequesta, we have a freestanding Dunkin' and it's never packed. Is my Dunkin' gonna go?
I don't know specifically. I mean, you know, I know several of the guys that own Dunkin's around here, and it had always been such a great business model, but there are two big problems with it. People are getting a little bit tighter with money because of the economy. And it is markedly. I mean, I saw something the other day with one of the guys from Shark Tank that was saying, I would never buy one of those coffees. He said, it costs 18 cents to make a cup of coffee the same way they do. And you pay $2 or $4 or whatever you pay. And he said, it is one of the dumbest things you can do with your money in America. And if people are looking at that, and you can get a lot of the same accessories. My son Colin, when I said that yesterday to him, the older one, he's like, you know what? I got pretty good at making my own iced coffees that are just this. And I think people have been doing that during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And also the other problem, so it's the economy one, and it's the commuting too, because people would have that routine of driving to work and going to Dunkin' on their way. And with less people driving to work now in the mornings and having their schedules all wonky, yes, it's the worst formula possible for a Dunkin'.
It is the only drive-through food in Tequesta. So
Okay.
I really hope that Dunkin' doesn't go away, but it's an easy cost cut.
So I'm wondering, because I have been asking the mom and pop places that I go to when I get pizza or if I get sandwiches, I go, how you guys doing? Are you guys suffering? Are you guys getting a good rush? And a lot of them are telling me they're doing good, better than the corporate ones, like the chain ones, because the chain ones, there's not a loyalty like you have to a neighborhood one. Camille's, I know them. I know the people that work at Camille's because I go there all the time. You know, you go to your local sub shop, you know that. But if you go to a Carrabba's or a Fridays, you're thinking, okay, it's a chain. There might be people there. I'm going to go and stick with the local people. I'm just wondering if that is more prevalent than I'm thinking. Because I've asked about 3 or 4, and they all said they were doing pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. So, I hope that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, some are doing okay. Some are not. California Pizza Kitchen filed for bankruptcy.
Chain, though. That's a chain.
Yeah, they say revenues are down 40% from last year where they were.
Wow.
And they've got 200 locations. They don't know how many they're going to be closing.
I love that place. People gave me shit when I featured them as one of the Instagram pizzas, but they're Mexican. Their tostada pizza's good.
That was the first place I ever tried a cauliflower crust.
It was good. Yeah,
It was good.
It wasn't bad.
And it's not the same when you buy it at the Publix.
It's not.
Even though it says California Pizza Kitchen on the box in the frozen pizza section at Publix, it does not taste the same as when you went into California Pizza Kitchen.
I kind of feel like the frozen pizza industry is on a decline. There's not a lot of stuff I feel is exceptional. There's some good stuff out there, but there's a lot of shit, man.
It was so easy and fast for me to make you that pizza last night that I made you. I bought the dough at Publix. It's already pre-formed into the circle. I put it down on the little pizza stone I have, added the ingredients, which took all of like 30 seconds, and bam, popped it in the oven. I would say it didn't take me much longer than opening up a frozen pizza box.
There are little things you can do at home, too, that make your pizza a little bit more tastier and cozier and more pizza-like. My buddy Bigfoot, he had one of those legit restaurant pizza cutters. That alone just makes the pizza, it cuts nice, the sauce stays more intact.
The roller?
No, it's the one,
knife.
The
Oh, the
knife
long-
one.
yeah,
it cuts
cool.
it perfectly.
Yeah.
Fat Kevin, you would have loved it.
What do you guys think is the number one factor to make a great party?
Music.
The people.
Okay.
If you have shitty people, you have a shitty party. You
Okay.
could have a good party with shitty music and good people because the good people can make fun of the shitty music and you guys can bond.
They asked,
Yeah, you're right. Damn
Yeah.
it. I want to argue, but fuck, he's right.
yeah, you're right. People did not make the top 5. I think it was down at 7.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Number 1 factor that makes a great party, according to the survey, drinks was number 1.
What?
Well, if people are drinking, then they're starting to talk to each other.
Drinks are important, but people come first.
Because if you get shitty people drinking,
which
Sure.
I've been at that party.
you get
Yeah.
fights.
But maybe people think that with a couple drinks, I can tolerate a shitty person.
Some people can, and other people want to fight.
Yeah. Music was 2nd. Then food, location, and the space were the 5 factors. But yeah, I'm with you. To me, I think people is right up there.
People will make or break you.
Location's probably the least out of all. Because if you have everything else going for you, location,
I guess it would be like if you're at a rooftop party or something like that that's just really awesome. You're like, oh my gosh, this place is so badass.
Location would be bad for me then.
Rooftop, let's
Scared
go.
of heights.
Well, if you had a beach party where you're on the sand and you got like a bonfire out there and it's all kind of set up and, you know.
You're right. No, that's a great atmosphere. And you're an ambience guy.
I am.
You really are. You taught me that. That was one of the first things Kevin Ralston taught me about in radio.
Yeah.
Just kind of creating a mood.
Creating a mood. That's why, yeah, music and location is important for me. Drinks don't hurt.
You guys gonna have any? You guys gonna throw any back this weekend?
Yeah, I'm going to have some today because I'm making my crawfish. I never make crawfish without a beer.
It is fun because I've been cooking a lot more. There is something fun about drinking and cooking, man. Only thing is, I get really shit faced right before the meal. And then food's not. Now I'm feeling good. I want to keep that train going.
Raina had sent in an email. She said, I was wondering if there was a bit or a segment you guys have done that you totally wish you could take back. Does anybody in your personal life give you any grief for what happens on the show? Maybe it's something that doesn't affect you in the least bit. I was extremely curious. You all have been doing it so long, so I'd imagine there's some stuff that you regret. Love the show. Yeah, I think probably the ones that, obviously a bit that's shitty and you're going, that was terrible. I regret those. But I think the ones that, looking back through the history of the show, those are the ones. I think the one where I tethered Jaybird to the tree and screwed up his back for life.
Yeah, but that wasn't your fault. And the people that give you shit about my own act, Kevin doesn't put a gun to my head and say, Bird, you must do this. I can say no.
Second I saw you hit the concrete, I was like, I regret this. That was a dumb idea.
Yeah,
dude.
but my back was already fucked up before that. So
Burning your feet was 2. Those are the ones. So the ones where Jaybird's been hurt. Those are the ones I regret the most.
Those are 2 of my most.
Yeah.
I hold those as things I wouldn't change.
Right, so you love those. Those are the 2 that I'm like, yeah, those are.
Oh my God, I wouldn't change the feet on the fire for anything.
Yeah, those are the only, for me, those are the ones that truly stand out. Aside from just ones that are like, gosh, that was terrible. But
maybe at your work you can say, oh, my boss really helped my feet to the fire. and maybe you felt like he did, but unless you actually had your feet in fire like Jaybird,
that's right.
Your boss didn't hold your feet to the fire.
2nd-degree burns, y'all.
Skin was peeling off. It was actually horrific to see, and I had to pretend like I wasn't that freaked out by it.
Virginia, so we had to try to get me out of the office without running into any bosses. So I'm in a chair just like
He's
this.
in a rolling, shitty office chair.
She is panicking, trying to calm me down, but panicking off of her ass. She's like, we can't run into anybody. Because we had done something else that pissed off management where either I got hurt or
every week
something had happened, and every left she made, she ran into a fucking boss, and we had to come up with it. What are you guys doing? Oh, we're doing a crazy bit. We'll be right back.
How fast can an office chair go?
It was like a movie.
And meanwhile, skin is falling off of his feet.
It was
the skin is like bailing out of the bit.
It was horrific.
It's done.
We're trying
to avoid
it was so hard
to look at. I'm like, oh my gosh, we ruined his feet. They're gonna have to amputate.
Good times.
Yeah.
What about you? You have bits?
Oh, definitely.
It's the ones where
I hurt Panda.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to rehash them and hurt him again.
Well,
but
because, there's so many this week alone.
just trust me when I say there are definitely 3
Okay, you said something and whatever happened, it hurt his feelings kind of thing? Yeah.
Yes.
That would be anything that I regret, anything I've said or done where I come back and not just in the moment trying to make y'all laugh or the people laugh. It hurts someone's feelings, and then it wasn't the intention, but you're still a fuckface.
Yeah.
Any bit like that is always awful. You don't realize you're doing it.
Sure.
When I gravied Magnolia, I felt really bad afterwards because she looked up at me. She's like, Mom, why would you do that to me?
That's just, she's confused.
She's like, I love you. Why would you pour gravy on me? And I'm just like, I am a fuck face.
Just like you went up and punched a baby deer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so
She was so sad and hurt that I poured gravy
That's
on
tough.
her.
I gravy Ann. Everyone's like, "Oh, that's real cool, Draven the elderly." But I gave Ann $200 right after, so she was okay with it. She's like, "Okay, we're cool." She was all about that.
We're cool.
She was all about that green, man.
Is there any kind of other bit, Jaber, anything specific of a regret?
There was a few stuff at Wild. There was a song I did about your khakis, and I made some jokes in there. Looking back, was very not. And I'm not a PC person at all.
Yeah.
But some of the jokes I made just were stupid and not funny. And someone sent me an email, and I read it, and they were completely right, and it made me change a way I approach things.
There have been, over the years, 21 years, you go back, and, I do appreciate it. People have called us out on some things, and I give it some thought, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? There are a couple words I've taken out of, if you had listened to us in 99, I'd probably cringe, be like, don't say that.
There's stuff that I hear back from like 04, 05 that I cringe at.
Yeah, and you're just like, come on, man. So, but that's, again, without cancel culture, you don't cancel anybody. They learn from it. Eventually, you wind up learning the right way to handle yourself, and you're better because of it.
That's what I always wonder with cancel culture when they go back and get somebody from 10 or 15 years ago on something. If they've proven and they've shown with their actions that they've evolved as a person, and they're like, that was a fucking different person, that is part of the process as being a human.
Absolutely.
That's what I was taught as a kid.
It's to me, it's one of the most comedic statements you can make today is the cancel. That's why I always tweeted at you guys.
Oh, I love when I go after cancel Kev or you cancel the bird. Those are my favorite things. I love that.
Virginia posted up the other day. She wrote, "My kids are both 3 months overdue for teeth cleaning. I'm at the dentist and they are both back there, and I'm having a panic attack in the lobby. Did I make a bad choice?" And I tweeted her. I said, "Terrible choice. Hashtag dead in a week. Hashtag terrible mom. Hashtag cancel Virginia."
Yeah.
It made me laugh.
Yeah. No, you got to get that trending.
I'm canceling everybody.
It's fun to do.
Yes, it is.
Well, because everyone's canceling everybody.
I can't wait for Dennis to post something peaceful.
Well, people who don't even have anything are saying they're canceling me. Like, bitch, you ain't got nothing to cancel.
Right. What are we canceling
What are you
exactly?
canceling?
There you go. All right. Well, thank you for the emails. Thank you guys for being here. Have a good, fun, safe weekend. Enjoy the wind and whatever we get from this Israel. And we will see you back here on Monday.
A lot of saying.
Thank God it's going to be gone soon. I can't say it. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.